Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another video. Today we're going to get started on the Maestro Union, the Nameless one. It's supposed to be Kensai, the Nameless one, but how can you have a name and then be the Nameless one? So I'm just going to call him the Nameless one. That always works well. But yeah, let's get started into it. I want to start by saying I like this figure a lot, but the biggest gripe is balancing it, which makes it incredibly frustrating. Now, it's an excellent figure. But if you are like me and you like to balance things, make them look cool, balancing this guy getting frustrated takes a lot of fun out of the figure. Now, Akeliano7 on Twitter and both on Instagram did a mod for the ankle. I'm going to try to link his page to what he did. He doesn't really explain it, but he shows you visually. So I'm going to try to link those in the description. And if I forget, I'm pretty sure someone will email me to remind me, and I appreciate that. But yeah. This guy, it's a super solid toy brought down by the fact that the ankle pivot is either incredibly loose or like that, it pops out. Now, and that is because this joint here, right? It has a tendency of knocking itself out of placement. See how it has that little wiggle right there? Now that wiggle will cause a bit of balance issue, which by all means is ridiculously frustrating, but it allows it. But I like the fact that they wanted it to pop in and out, but it just didn't work with the idea of balancing this guy out. So I did not apply any kikis yet, but I'm going to try to do that. But as you can see here, he's standing with no problem, but at some point of trying to get any cool maneuvers, it ends up basically falling down. Now, articulation wise, we have an asymmetrical design, but you can actually take this torso part off, which will allow you to have a lot more mobility. Here in the head and neck, we have this extra neck here. Even with that, there's lots of range in the head, even being able to look up. It'll lift this up. So my suggestion is to pull this down and then look up as it presses up against it, which allows it some greater range. The arm does have a little bit, and I do mean a little bit of butterfly joint, but you can hit like pretty much a Y pose, right? We have a bicep swivel and we have a beautiful double joint on our asymmetrical cloth side, right? We still have that double joint, but it's going to get in the way here with our cloth. So I'm hoping that someone does make a cloth set for this to make this articulation a little bit easier. Now, as far as our legs go, we can go all the way outward. We have a thigh swivel. We have an inner leg thigh swivel as well, and then we have the bunny-like movement, as you can see here, rotating in and out. It can come up, it can go back this far, and it can go forward this far, and then we have that. Then you see our ankle pivot. Now, as you can see, mine is very loose, so I'm wondering maybe if I needed kikis or is it a joint design. I'm not sure yet because I want to be able to test this out and make sure. But in the meantime, please bear with me, right? As far as our ab crunch goes, we actually have a really nice ab crunch, even for our asymmetrical design with the faux cloth. Obviously, it's not cloth, it's plastic, but I call it faux cloth because it's supposed to represent that. Now, whether or not those joints come out, I'm going to test that ever so shortly about how they come out because I haven't done any of the part swap yet. But as you can see here, I really like this design. I was very happy for it, but it's one, and I swapped my phone around, so my placement is a little off to the side, but I like this guy. But am I willing to deal with the frustration of balancing this guy constantly to get into cool poses? I'm unsure of that just yet. But the accessories alone on this guy, so fantastic. Because you know what? Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. All right, accessory wise, and this is what's funny. It's almost like they knew he would have some balances issues because he does come with a stand. And I'm not going to put that against them. I just wish it was a slightly different design, but at least they tried to, you know, help you out by carrying it with a stand. So I do understand that. So, but I got to say, I love this guy's accessories. I love the theme of this guy. And this is what made me love the guy in general. So this may be what balances it out for me, but we never know because I got to play with it some more. But hand accessory wise, here we are with some open action, creepy gripper hands. It gives him the idea for me that he's like a Dark Souls character. Here we are, some opened action hands, right? And then next up, because I have the closed fist on one of them, I do have the presiding sword holding hand and the other fist. So that way it balances out in his asymmetrical design. Next up, and this is what's was really cool, right? It's going to be, here's his faceless one, face, right? And this is what's crazy about this. You will get different mask designs, for instance, like tagging it into this creepy face here, which is super duper creepy. As you can see, there's head placements for his wrapped up ears up there. Outside of that face, you will get the creepy old man face, right? The weeping, sorrowful. This seems more like a melancholy, right? Then we have our Tengu mask. I feel like this is the Mr. Karate reference. I love Mr. Karate with the Tengu mask. Then we have an Only mask. And I love this design for him, just giving him shape and form. Next up, you will get a straw overall covers, as well as a matching hat for his design. I'm going to show those off in the picture because I do want to talk about swapping out that body, right? Then we will get a different set of limbs. And this is what I'm talking about. Are these stronger limbs? Are these different design limbs? Like, the instructions aren't very clear on it. So I'm going to fool around and test with these afterwards. But I wanted to give my original, like, first impression of it. Then I'm going to fool around with it some more, because it definitely looks like these are swappable leg designs. But I want to be sure. Or if these are swappable wrist designs. So are they clean wrist designs, and then down here it's the same where you wrap out the bandages? So I want to double check that, because I will. And then last but not least, here we are with the swords. We're going to get a long sword, right? I don't know if this is an Adochi or just a really long katana relative to his sign in the Wakazashi. And behind him, it will be placement for it right here behind him. So you can store these, right? And you can actually take these out. They're unsheathable as is. They're freaking long. So you're dual wielding, man. And like I said, they look beautiful. But here's the crazy kicker, right? You will also get an extra set in all black. So they do give you an extra set in all black as well. And that is because you'll get cool effect sets too. For the shorter sword, you will get an effect part right here. So you get a nice green effect set. And it just slides in with no issue. And then for the long one, you will get a flaming effect. Let's see if I can just there we go. Right in there. This is a nice long sword effect. Love the idea of it. It does have a lot of weight to it. So unfortunately, it may have to be handled either with a stand or held up with some really, really good balance. I'm not even sure if I could do it, but I'm going to try, right? And that wraps it up for accessories. Now, I'm going to grab my other Furay Planet figures, as well as some other sword and sorcery stuff, and let's size them out. Now we're going to jump into the size comparison. So yeah, let's compare. So here we are with Veteran William and Blade Master Wang. So as you can see here, we have some other big boys. So all of these guys are big and tall. That's not the issue. Like I said, it's just a little crazy because his joints seem different than these guys, and I'm not sure why they went that route. But what's crazy is, and I shit you not, since I mentioned his balancing issue, I've had no issues balancing him. So now I feel like a fraud, and the irony is not lost on me. So here we are with Sun Wukong. Here we are with a Mythic Allegiance, right? So we can like compare and show that this is a big boy. Like the Furay Planet stuff is tall. And I'm guessing that's because these are kaiju, like monster men, like animals in humanoid form. And the reason why they're bigger. Here we are with Rasetsu Maru from Storm Collectible Samurai Showdown. You can see, still smaller. And then when we do like another domestic figure, like my main man Ichigo, which now I feel like he should definitely be sporting in the Furay Planet universe, right? So we can see it. So even with other types of domestic figures and things like that, these guys are necessarily large. But I like that they add up the way they do. Because when you compare them with other stuff, it's like whatever. But we are not going to end the video just here. We are going to test out popping this stuff off, right? Oh, that's actually pretty cool. And then just seeing how it works out with swapping stuff out. I'm gonna have to pull this off camera as I try to pull out parts without breaking them. I might have to heat stuff up. Oh, no. Actually, I think because there's a little up, yeah, see, there's an opening there, which will allow me to, I guess, open it all up and just do it this way. So, yep. So that actually allows this to come off. That means if I wanted to have no gear on, this is what it would look like with no gear. And you know what? Like a dummy, I didn't even think about it. When you take this off, that's what these parts are going to be for. This will allow you to create the other arm. Oh, there it is. He finally fell. But yes, that's what that's for. It allows you to create the bare arm. And I didn't think about it until now. So yeah, basically, you're going to pop all of this stuff out. And I'm going to need to heat this up because it's not just, there it is. So let's try to take the torso out. We are literally going to do it up and do it big here. So yeah, this is going to be our upper torso without any of those. And I was worried that I wouldn't be able to do it, but yeah, here I am doing it, showing off these parts. So that is how we're going to create this. And this is probably the one thing I can't get off is going to be the arm part here. Definitely gonna have to heat that up. But I didn't recognize it before, but this is definitely how you create the other arm situation. So I'm really glad I was able to find that out. So even if I wanted to go bare torso, you can. It doesn't take away any sort of mobility or add any extra mobility, as you can see here. But yeah, really glad I still was able to find that out though. So now it helps you guys too. But yeah, this has been a nice video. And it's crazy because he only fell once after I mentioned that. And it's, I don't know, it's just weird because I was just having all these issues. And now I seem like a weirdo saying that he had all these issues. So I don't want to retract it, but at the same time, I do want to say be careful. Because now it's like, did I need to like make adjustments? Because as you can see here, I'm like, there it is. It's basically a way I have to superposition it. Like, it was probably me doing too much. So at least that's what it feels like. Because now he's posing with no problem. But I'm still going to link you to a Kaleon just to be on the safe side. I think it's the easier thing to do. But again, thank you so much for watching, learning as we went along. I hope you found it informative and helpful because that's what we should be doing. So as always, please be good, do good, and drink your water, guys. Later.